And we are live with yet another masterclass from our friend here, Tim Matkovic, who's joining us from Germany, back from Chile, where he was with the Polish national team. And good to see you, Tim. We are going
Hi,
to talk.
Ernest.
We are going to talk about fascinating topic, the aerials. But before that, we touch on that topic, the why, when, and how from aerials. Let me all remind you again. If you're joining us live, make sure that you ask questions. Make it interactive. Bring on your comments in the comment section. If Tin is saying something that you agree with or disagree with, let us know in the comments and let us make this an interactive session as much as possible. But Tin, let's talk about the aerial. What have you got for us?
So, hi everybody. Thanks, Ernest. Thanks also for postponing the first course. Really loved it and really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Due to I was in one moment struggling with balancing everything, especially because the tournament was so nice. And last time you gave me a challenge to try to say and to try to present the aerials with some of the pointers is how, when, why.
Hmm.
So I will try my best to guide you through this presentation and to, of course, then let you, have your own opinion about it, have your own mind about it. If you don't agree with me, it's also nice. I really love to be challenged, and I really love to make sure that we together improve in everything what we're doing. So as always. Let's start. I hope that will work now. So this is what we discuss about, and in the beginning I got only how, when, and why. I did also offer another, and that's where. Due to I think right now the aerial game is improving from year to year, and also the people are getting more smarter, more creative, and also more adaptable to how to do everything. So when we go to adaptable, I also have this two I call them the brains. Yeah, that one is creativity and the other one is structure. Due to I think it's identifying what the opposition is doing will help us then create. So with creativity, create a counter attack, or example a plan how to counter the actual situation, and how to make like the opposition struggle with the things that we are doing. Yeah, of course, now focusing only on the aerials. And structure is, I just think that my ideas are sometimes going too wild, so I need to put something on paper and it needs to make sense. Due to if I deliver a lot of information in a small amount of time to people that don't know me, it could sound chaotic. Yeah. So as we see here, then a little bit about the creativity. So I think it's mostly talking about exploring the space. It also then depends on how and why and when. But it's also depending on, or it's also reacting to what the opposition is doing. Yeah. So if we're playing into space, then we want to make sure that the opposition is freeing the space, and then also we need to make sure that there's this understanding of the rule of five, which is at this moment really difficult. Due to I think personally it's blown really weird. So from tournament to tournaments, from league to league, it's different. So this has to always be hold accountable that we actually get away with what we want to do, and also the speed of doing it. So I was now lucky enough to spend some time with the brain, yeah, from the Polish national team and the Polish hockey, and we had a massive discussion about how to break the system with creating like a counterplay. So for us, the high ball was on not only pure in the build-up, but also every time possible that we identified that they're playing a zonal defense or in one versus one, that we try to manipulate and turn to open space. That was another chance for us to break it. The structure, I think it's pretty clear. Just to put it, you can put million other stuff, but we decided to talk about either some kind of a zonal structure or a man versus man structure. Now in these days, you also have some kind of a hybrid structure where you have these points where in one moment half of the team is playing defense, half of the team is playing one versus one defense, and half of the team is then trying to stay in zone and trying to get like this ideal pass from the opposition, and then triggers the pressure coming. So a little bit like creativity, and this the brain I think it's like a really nice picture, and I like to also everything put everything visual due to. I really think that if you have a person that you're coaching with, or the group that you're coaching at, that is ready to also deliver some information for you, would be super. Due to if the boys, girls, the teams that you're coaching are also agreeing with, yeah, the ways that you're doing it. For example, I was receiving a message from a really good colleague of mine and the person that helped me a lot that was saying bombardment hockey. I like to use that term bombardment hockey due to it's quite easily to get out of pressure and quite easily to skip lines and get your striker in the position that he can be lethal as fast as possible. So if there's no questions, we will continue. So just a little bit how I see this. So last time that I was talking to a friend of mine, and then I also went and see my earlier work and the work that I was, let's say, seeing from other people in earlier time, as that the field, you can always put it as like millions of small blocks where you can see there if they're playing zonal system or they're playing one versus one system. You then identified which so-called blocks can then be your landing zones. By landing zones, I mean that where the ball should drop and how would you position yourself to receive it. Yeah, so that means, for example, if you're playing versus zonal systems, of course, there's a million ways of doing it, and there's a million position that you want to start in the outlet. I'm more keen here just to explain that I prefer in this moment right now with the team that I'm coaching to have, if the ball is in zone one, so starting point in the outlet, that we rather have this landing zones on the sides than in the middle of the field. For the other opposition team or for the other teams that I play with, maybe it's different. And for the people that are coaching higher levels and say, okay, we are super capable of always creating a middle landing zone, so in between the boxes, in between the diamond shapes, that's super nice. At the moment, I think I like to have this some kind of a outlet structure like this due to it frees us to open space, because if the zonal team, the red one, wants to intercept the ball or try to get in the rule of five, they will need to open space. And in that moment, if they do open space, that means that we have potentially then flach. So this normal not bouncy pass, so this normal pass through the middle of the field. So one reaction could potentially activate another one. Just talking to this, I tried to explain, okay, this is the landing zones. So this is the zones which potentially we should aim for. And that's also sometimes depending on how good is your inside defender. So my rules and what I would actually really like in the future and the older teams that I coach is that almost everybody has good technical coverage. So is a good technical player. Of course, you need to practice that more. So I always like to have one training when it's just pure technical training. And if I ever get a constant help, so that means two or more coaches, then I would gladly share the load of tasks what we need to do. So right now, at the moment, the team that I'm coaching or the teams that I'm coaching, I almost have everybody in one line that could at least skip 1/4 to 2/4 with a high ball. So for us at this moment, it's not a problem to create these landing zones. And we talk about how to inflict damage as quick as possible and best as possible. So we don't like to choose the small aerials, which are becoming more and more, I would say, trendy, and they can be extremely dangerous due to you don't know how to defend. So if you are catch off guard that the attacking structure or pressure structure is off, yeah, by I don't know, a meter or two, it could potentially have a massive, massive outcome of your game due to if you know how to explore the weakness of the opposition, you get to play through the middle of the field or you get to skip lines quickly and you get yourself in a positive position further up in the field. Just to put for the people that are too fast to follow, you imagine that you have an NFL match where every meter counts. So this is what we want. So we want to sometimes skip the game. If it's working for us, then continue doing it. If not, then of course change. But making sure that we're quick as possible, dangerous as possible in zone 3 and zone 4, where we can then have our strong individuals run more with the ball, be more concentrating into creating a +1 by eliminating, by creating a give and go, etc., etc. Just to also really visually show you, so this is type of, the landing zones and how the trajectories should go. I picked, of course, a zonal defense. We're playing against the zonal defense. Against min marking, we will explain a little bit deeper as we go. If there is no questions, we follow on. So also a little bit of a trajectories versus zonal systems. So the first two ones, the left and right, the one on the left and one in the middle are zonal. And the right one is, the last one on the right is a little bit a min marking system. I think that there is a big difference between the landing zones versus zonal defense and versus min marking. I am still thinking how or which terminology to use the best, but I would say that momentum speed is if we're playing and putting a momentum speed in empty space, if we play versus min marking, and the other one would be more of speed of execution plus positioning. Yeah, so those are, I think, quite interesting and quite big. You can, however, have more. I'm keen on hearing your advice or maybe just how you see the game. So after this, if there is any comments or maybe just to put another idea in, I would be more than happy to share this. Yeah, but this is my opinion, how I think. So with manipulation, playing versus the one versus one system, and with speed, you might get the rule of five always in your favor, and you might get that the ball is coming into empty area, and then you need to run with the ball to get it. Yeah, with the zone, your position is, I think, in my opinion, much more important than actual speed of you and running. If you run and rotate a lot, then you should be losing this 5 meter rules due to you're in movement. And the rule is that the landing zone is always a little bit in the favor of the person that is positioned there. If there is no questions, arguments, or maybe ideas, we can proceed on.
Not yet. Let's go.
Oh, beautiful. So a little bit like movies right now too, so you can see from zone one, zone three, or zone four. Also, how the landing zones are different with every team, how the build-up is different with every team, how to also use it with short pass, long pass, diagonals, vertical, lateral passes. So this like aerials are at the moment right now, in my opinion, what I presented a couple of months ago, also like a normal passing skill. So in the future, I think that this should be done already with under 12, 14s as a normal passing lane. Like we learn how to hit as soon as possible. We have individual capable of doing the high ball. That's the soon that we have this advantage that we can play on. Yeah. So we play a movie a little bit, hopefully everything is working fine. And then we see, of course, this rule of five, then we see this positioning. So everything that we talked about right now. If you also have any kind of a comment and you want to comment on any of the clips, maybe see or how you see it and what is super special about it, I'm super keen on saying, on hearing for you guys. So the same principles, everything the same that we talked about, but I think it's a little bit of worth of mentioning that if the opposition is playing a half court, might be pretty interesting and might be also a little bit bigger topic to discuss about is what do we want to do and how we want to do it when we are playing versus the system of half court or really deep defense. So thinking about that, I think the first priority that bumps in mind is due to the opposition and the whole team. If the opposition is really deep and the whole our team is then on zone two or sometimes on zone three, it could be a potential risk for a high turnover yourself. So that means if we lose the ball and we have people that are aggressively trying the forwards, for example. So the moment we make a mistake in our zone three or zone four, in their zone first and one, they have a rule that far as possible they want to make sure that the flicker is on ball, and then we are getting in this so-called a position that where there's no structure, there's no counter control established, and we have 3 to 4 people running into space, which I think more and more it's happening. Due to I remember a couple of times. in the first half of the season, we managed to have a super positive outcome with this situation playing against a favorite team.